Hey everyone, this is Leo Young with Impressive Reviews, episode 12, and today I'll be going over Legends of Tomorrow, episode 3, season 2, titled Shogun. Alright, so I don't feel like this entire show, this episode was much of an episode. It was more like a Easter eggs and a filler. Of course it was, because really the Shogun, nothing was there was no reverse flash. But there was some very interesting, like DC Easter eggs that I already said. I'm just going to start off the bat because I'm not going to remember their names, but the family that's in this show that the legends connect to, they're the Yashimito, I believe. Basically, they're the ancestors of Katana. So so if you understand what that means, the legends are the reason that Katana was able to exist. And if it wasn't for the legends, aka Nate and all them, Arrow would be dead. So let's go right into the review. So we start off with Stein and Ray talking and watching over Nate, and Vixen sneaks into the Wave Rider and knocks him out, along with the rest of the crew. Then she comes up on Mick Roy, threatening to kill him because he's the one she thinks killed our man. Now, coming in for the final blow, Nate comes in with his skin made of metal. Now, they have a meeting about Nate's powers and Vixen being on the board, and Nate's trying to figure out some names, and Sarah wants Ray to help him figure out how to use his powers. Now, Sarah heads down to speak with Vixen, and she gives a hint that someone they've probably been hunting killed Rex. So, a person that they all knew, like the person who's been given the Nazis, all this other stuff, someone who gave the French Revolution laser rifles, that's who they've been hunting. And they think, well, they're kind of hinting that it's Reverse Flash, but it may not be, and I'll tell you why later. Now, Vixen joins the team, though she's still distrustful of Mick. Alright, so at this point I was actually called away by someone, and from what I was able to see while coming back and forth between the TV, the Wave Rider is somehow opened or damaged, and Nate is thrown out of time. Ray flies out in his suit, but both of them crash land in feudal Japan. Now, not long after Ray wakes up, he's knocked out and captured by samurai, and Nate wakes up in the back of a wagon with one of the Yashimito people, or the female. Unlike Ray, Nate doesn't start off talking like, "Hey, I'm from the sky." Nate lies about who he is and that he's from that time string. All right, so while Ray is being tortured about his armor, Nate's getting a warm bath by a pretty lady. Amazing, right? Now, Nate can't help but show that he understands history and he might not be from that time until he learns about the woman that who helped him is marrying the Shogun that has Ray. And he knows that the Shogun is someone who kills his brides. So that's why he steps out of the house where he's taking the bath or where he's dressed up and he tries to fight the Shogun's men, thinking he has control of his powers. But no, Nate gets his ass beat. In fact, he's stabbed in the gut like an asshat. When you see it at first, you don't understand that he knows who the Shogun is, but after a while, it's like, oh, okay, now I get it. So he doesn't heal, of course. His powers never activate, so the woman and her father help heal him. Now on the Wave Rider, Heatwave and Vixen are arguing, and it's this point that Jax is fixing the ship, and Gideon speaks about 36 rooms. However, Jax, as Rip was having him learn the Wave Rider, only knows of 35. So him and Stein go to find a secret entrance, but Jax is against opening it. And they both go in and they find an armory. However, the most important part is a recorded message from Barry Allen from the year 2056. And it is Grant Gustin speaking, but his voice is so deep. Like, you can imagine Grant with a beard and a well, he already has, but buffer muscles, just like we wanted it. Alright, so the ground team is Vixen, Sarah, and Mick. And Vixen comments about Mick's ideas on ninja, and Sarah basically explains that she was part of a team of ninjas, the League of Assassins. Now Ray manages to escape while they come into contact with the feudal lord who's wearing Ray's suit, and his second in command fights Sarah, and the Shogun manages to use the suit's weaponry, forcing them to retreat. So the next day they find Nate somehow, and Nate's saying like they want to help defend the village from the Shogun, but Nate is like, I can't. I don't know how to use my power. So they make a little dick joke like he shows that his fingers like small, like 3 inches, and then Sarah goes like, seems like you're having performance issues. Now she has Ray go out and help train Nate how to access his powers, and he starts like beating him with a stick. I don't know who taught him that. But he starts beating someone with a stick, and he's kind of pissed off because Nate has no choice but to destroy the Atom suit, and doing so will make Ray an average man. Now, during this, Vixen and Sarah are having the villagers like go into like this protective fort, and they talk about the origins of Vixen and how she was from Africa and the JSA recruited her. And the story actually does follow how the original Vixen story follows. The totem is passed down through the generations, and she's afraid that nobody's going to be able to take up the mantle of Vixen next time. And if I'm correct, the Vixen we see for the CW from the Arrow show and Flash is her granddaughter, so we don't have to worry about that. Now the Shogun does appear, and Ray and before that, Ray and Nate are given like personal chats by the woman and her father, and they understand what they have to do to save everyone. So Ray takes on the Shogun one on one. Shogun one on one. Sarah and takes on the Shogun's second in command and the rest of his men alongside Vixen, while Mick takes on legitimate ninjas like in the black suits and everything. Now it's looking grim for Ray and the woman that the Shogun's going to marry, but Nate is able to access abilities and takes on the Shogun. Sarah kills the second in command. They finish off the ninjas, and the Shogun is destroyed along with the Atom suit. And they pretty much say their goodbyes, and that's where you learn that the clan that the Shogun was going to marry was the Yamashita and Katana and all that. Now, this is the last part of the show is the important part. It's when they return to the Wave Rider. Vixen finally admits that Mick could be a good person, a hero, and Mick kind of gives his idea that no, you don't understand who I am. Now, as for Stein and Jax, they don't tell anyone about the message, and we don't even hear it. And I'm kind of curious because it's like Stein was the one who wanted to go find out what was in the room, and now he's like, I wish we never learned this, but we can't tell the legends. So, looks like next week or maybe the week after we'll find out what's going on. But other than that, that is the end of this review, and I will be putting my personal thoughts down below. So I hope you enjoyed, and let's get right into it. Yeah. Alright, so these are my personal thoughts, and there's only really three topics I want to jump onto, so let's get right into it. First off, it's Citizen Steel's skin. Alright, so I guess it's because I'm a comic book, like, fan or something. And, well, you see, the thing about Steel's powers was he was not like this, alright? In the comics, he was a football star, and something happened to his leg, an infection, and they had to take it off. And then, during the Jeff Johns' first volume run of the JSA, he gets his powers because Nazis attacked, which is kind of ironic. In this show, Nazis attack him, but it's mainly our man. But we won't go into it that much. But Steel then is brought to the JSA of the modern day, and it shows that like metal had been, I don't know, something about metal going into his skin and then mixing with his bones, and then is like he gets super strength. The only thing about it was though his skin didn't turn steel, and it had one like drawback that he couldn't feel things now that his skin was gone and it was made of steel. So I was hoping they would go with that. That would have been interesting if they had followed that. Like he gets angry at Ray, like Ray, I can't feel anything. He's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. But I guess because Arrow's the more darker tone, they don't want to go with that. But that would have been interesting because a lot of the times, like in the early descriptions, it would have said that he was embarrassed and try to hide his powers, when in truth he's trying to freaking go out there with his powers. So that's how I feel about that. And now I want to go to the Mick Rory one because I just want to like lead into the Flash, the rogues and all that. Which is ironic because the way Mick goes is like everyone's like, oh, Mick can be a good guy. Mick is a good guy. Mick keeps looking at them going like, I'm not a good guy. I swear to God, I will kill you if I have the chance. Which makes me think, is Rip going to join Captain Cold when the time comes? When he finds Snart? Is Snart going to be like, Mick, I'm sorry I put you on this team. It's time we go back to Central City, teach them all a lesson, start the rogues and all that. Yeah, that's my best impersonation. I don't have his vocal tones, but you have to admit it was pretty damn close. But yeah, so that's pretty much how I feel about it. Like at one point I'm just saying that's how I kind of feel like. I feel like CW understands that the rogues are coming, they're growing them, and it's almost time for Captain Cold to come back, and then Heatwave's going to have that choice, and he seems to be continuing that stance that he is not a hero. Now, the Flash of 2056. You would think like if that video had came, if Flash were like, listen, the Reverse Flash ran back in time and now he's doing this, Stein and Jax would have been like, yo, you guys, a villain who has super speed came back in time, and now like we need a fight. But no, they didn't. They're hiding something. Flash told Rip something. No, Flash sent Rip a message, and I don't know if like this was an unread message or not, but whatever this message was so important that and so dark that even Stein was like, we should have never looked at this. I'm so curious as to what it is because I can't even wrap my head around it. It's like, what would be so dangerous that the Flash could not go and go like, I don't know. The only thing I could think of, it doesn't make sense. It's not like, hey, listen, Darkseid is still up here and he's people over. It's like you don't worry about Darkseid now. You worry about him then. It's like, hey guys, some alien force is coming. So there's just a lot of questions that I have to bring up and that I would like answered, but I hope they really get into it because it seems like the next couple of episodes of Flash and Legends of Tomorrow will be very interesting. Yes, only Flash and Legends of Tomorrow. I'm not very interested in looking forward to doing the roulette episode of Supergirl, nor am I interested in the next episode of Arrow, even though I don't fully remember what that after credit scene looked like. Anyways, that's my thoughts. Hope you enjoyed. Please comment, subscribe, share, and like. Uh, Again, please, well, yeah, I just said that, but it's getting hard to find these pictures, so like I had to use the same Legends of Tomorrow image at the end, but I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing, but it would be nice to, like, get a couple likes, or at least a couple comments, because again, I enjoy hearing what I'm doing wrong more than I enjoy hearing what I'm doing right, if that makes any sense, because it's like, it helps me narrow down what I have to focus on taking out. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to try and work on a new system over the weekend. I hope you enjoy the weekend. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you stick around. So, that's about it. Peace. Have a good night. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.